Good evening, everyone. My name is Bob Garrity. I'm the father of Jessica Garrity, who's recovering from drug and alcohol addiction. And along the journey, it's helped bring our family a little closer together. My daughter was always the pride of our family. She's the youngest of our children, and throughout high school, she was very active in school. She hung around with the right kids, and she was athletic and outgoing. And once she left high school and went off to college, we thought that her life was going to have a completely different outcome than what actually happened. Her first year of college, she ran into some bad individuals and started abusing drugs, at least as far as I'm concerned. That's when the journey began on this. We started noticing different behaviors than what we were used to, as I'm sure you've all witnessed throughout this also. In 2017, it was just about this time of year, my daughter was hanging around with another young man, and we knew there was something wrong with the individual, but our daughter was slowly sinking down that same path, and she tried to tell us that everything was fine and we were making things up. We knew the difference. We knew something was missing in the life of what our daughter used to be. On a Friday night, she was going to go to an AA meeting, and that's all she promised us. All day long, that's all she promised us. She was going to make this meeting. And her and her boyfriend slept through the meeting and wouldn't get out of bed, and so I finally dragged them to the meeting, and the meeting didn't actually happen. The following day, she was involved in a car accident and totaled her car on I-95, and thankfully that was the beginning of the end of her addiction for that period. It was a long 72-hour process between the time that accident happened and the day that she went into Miramont. I kept thinking that it was just her way of appeasing us at the time. Yeah, sure, I'll go for recovery. Whatever you want to hear. This is what I'm going to do. And we've heard the lies so many times that we just don't believe in it. She went through Miramont. She stayed a little longer than most people do, but she made it through the program. She went to MVP recovery and was able to obtain a residency then with Brian and Chrissy in their new program for women. Thank you for setting that up, as I'm sure most people here would tell you. For 6 months while she was going through MVP, I thought deep down in my soul that it was just a front, that my daughter was trying to play the game. I still couldn't believe that she was trying to put effort into this program. But every day that we got a chance to see her, we started noticing our old daughter back. There would be days where she'd actually genuinely be happy. Something that we hadn't seen in a very, very long time. Jess is coming up on 2 years sober and clean, and I couldn't be more proud of my daughter. Since leaving the residency program at MVP, She's acquired full-time employment with a very good company. Recently, she's moved into her own apartment. She's self-sustaining. She's able to get up every morning and face the day, and I couldn't be more grateful, nor my wife. We have our little girl back, and it's the greatest gift we could ever have. And I just want to say thank you to all the organizations that get involved and actually care about what's happening instead of just looking at it as an opportunity for money or politics or whatever the case may be. These are people, these are our children, these are our spouses, these are our siblings, and we need this. As a community, we need this. Jessica, we love you very much, and thank you to everyone in MVP and to the community. And I didn't tell him the joke about the great.
Hey everyone, I'm Jess and I'm an alcoholic. So I don't really know if there's really much left to say. My dad pretty much said everything and he knows me really well. So I did grow up in Aston. I grew up with two older brothers, one who was in addiction growing up, and like he used to babysit me. He's 9 years older than me, so he used to take me everywhere he went. When he went to his friend's house, he would sit me in front of the TV, and then behind me, like him and his friends would be doing everything that I ended up doing later in my life. But as growing up, like I used to always like look at him as like my hero, like my everything, you know what I mean? Because like he was a guy that I looked up to. He's all I like really knew, not knew. Obviously my parents were around, but he babysat me all the time, you know what I mean? I don't know, but I always like told myself like I would not become like him. Like I've seen like him and my parents fight. I've seen him get locked up and all that. And I just knew that wasn't the life I wanted to do. So I got involved myself in sports, and in high school, I was in my school's ROTC program. So like I'm a person that knows rules. Like I can follow rules real easily. It's like a simple task for me. And just like my dad said, play a game. I love playing games. I can do it all day. But unlike what he thought, though, it was my senior year that I started getting involved in drinking and drugs. My senior year, I stopped running track, I stopped playing softball, I stopped doing everything I love doing. And like looking back now, like I can see like that was like the time that I started like going down into a deep slope. I got accepted into all the colleges I went to, or I applied to, but I decided to go to a school that I didn't get a scholarship to. I had scholarships to all the other ones except for this one. But it was right around the corners, or right around the people that I knew that drank like I did and did drugs like I did. So I decided to just go to Jersey, and that's where I went. But in New Jersey, at Richard Stockton College, I ended up being introduced into heroin. And unfortunately, like that's where my life took me. And for the next 7 years, all I wanted to do was just sneak around with my ex-boyfriend now and do everything that I can to get my hands on heroin. I would steal from people, I would rob my family, and I would rob people on the streets. Like it didn't really matter, like I just did whatever I had to do, you know what I mean? I was not ready to get clean. I wasn't, like my dad said, like I was not ready for any of it. He thought, he had suspicions, and like his suspicions are correct. It wasn't until I was at MVP for probably around my 7-8 months sober is finally when I started like understanding like this is the life I want to live. At the time when I first got to MVP, all I was doing was just doing whatever they told me to do. I was just following the rules that they told me to follow, and that was all I was trying to do until my boyfriend at the time got his stuff together and we can go out and do whatever we wanted to do. Thankfully, there's some women in this program. Number one that advocated for me, or against me I should say, is Jackie. If it wasn't for her and like getting me a pull up on hanging out with my ex all the time, like I don't know like where I would be at today. This program like really helped me grow, and It was the women that I watched, like Jackie, Angie, Mary, and Jen, that are like all have longer sobriety than I do. It was those women that like showed me like it is okay to be sober. It is fun to be sober. It's like the better way of life to be. But like I said, like I wasn't ready for any of this. I didn't want any of this at all. I truly did not. But these women, they held me up when I couldn't stand on my own, and they kept pushing me to be a better person than I was the day before. And because of them, like I just continued to do what I was doing in MVP, following their rules until it just became natural, and I couldn't do anything else except for go to meetings, work with a sponsor, get connected with women in the community and in the rooms around here. And like my dad said, I stayed in MVP for 13 months in their TC portion, and then I stayed another 6 months in their legacy houses. I just recently got a job, or an apartment, excuse me, in Delaware. I live on my own, and like I thought I could never survive like on my own. I always thought like I had to have somebody with me if I was ever going to live anywhere, but like I'm actually able to go home after work every single day and be content just sitting at home by myself. And it's because, once again, these women just showed me like it's okay. Like it's okay to be scared, it's okay to feel what you're feeling. Always feel like, always take in what you're feeling and everything will be alright, you know what I mean? Sorry. But the MVP, Chrissy, she watched some of us females struggle looking for jobs, so she got us involved with EDSI. I worked with Lauren from there. She helped me a lot with obtaining a job. When they first started, they asked me like, what is it that you wanted, like what kind of career do you want to get into? And I've always been a science kind of person, so I said I want to be a lab tech, or I want to get into like be a scientist of any sort. And like the look that they gave me, that was like, that is something like that's not achievable. Like with your type of past, like that's how I felt with some of their looks, is like with your type of past, like that's not possible. But thankfully with Lauren's help, I finally got a job as a lab technician in a cancer diagnostic company, and like it's one of the best companies I've ever worked for. Sorry Dad, I know I worked for your company before, but it is one of the best companies I've worked for, and like it's what I love doing every single day. Like I love waking up in the morning without having to have a drink or a drug in me to even get out of bed. I'm able to just roll out, go to the gym, go to work, come home, go to a meeting, go to bed, and that's like my life. It might sound boring to a lot of people, but like to me, like it's the best life I could have ever imagined, because I'm able to just do it on my own. I'm able to self-support myself. So yeah, I'm just really grateful for like all the men and women here. I'm able to sit up here with a classmate of mine from high school, and like to be able to watch him. Like I've seen him in Seth. I'm sorry. I've seen Seth like in high school, and like I saw him going down the wrong path, and to see him almost 10 years later getting sober, and like watching him get sober, like it's an incredible thing, like to watch people that you watch actually like seeing and their addiction get sober. But I just want to thank all of you guys for coming out here, and thanks for letting me share.